Welcome back to Bedroom Studio Guy. That's me, Brent. Um, as you know, I'm a Studio One enthusiast, and I thought I'd show you a little organizational tip. And I'm sure other people have put this tip out there, but if not, I will show you how to do it, and hopefully, you'll make your workflow and your life a little easier. And it's pretty straight ahead. So let's check it out. Okay, just opened Studio One, just a random track. First thing you want to do is take your mouse and go down to the bottom right hand corner. You'll see Edit, Mix, and Browse. You're going to use those tabs constantly, especially this first one. So just click on Browse, pulls up your browser, and that's where you're going to find your instrument VSTs, all your effects, loops, files, cloud, shop, pool, and you can sort them by, let's zoom in here, you can sort them by vendor, you can sort by type, you can sort by flat, etc. So we want to make a folder and keep things organized. So the way you do that is you click on folder, right? So here we are in folder. I've got folders. You got to be below this line right here. Above this line is your effects change, your mix effects, track presets, your favorites. We'll talk about that in a second. Recent, but below that, these are all the folders I've created. Now, here's the gotcha. If I were to just click over here and go make a new folder, and then it takes me over to here, a little window pops up and I type in new folder, hit OK, boink. All it did was stick the new folder underneath, stuck it underneath this top analysis folder. And that's fine, and that's how you would put a folder in a folder. So if I wanted to call that, spectrograph or whatever, that's fine, but I don't want that. So I'm going to say delete that folder. Also, you could rename the folder if you decide to keep it. So I'm deleting that folder. Window pops up, you say yes, folder's gone. I'm going to shrink it down. So what you need to do to make a new folder is scroll down to the end. At the end, I know I'm at the end because it's in alphabetical order. I see this wave shell thing. And then here's a bunch of random plugins. Go below that last folder, which is this one, and right click, say new folder. Window pops up again. I'll drag it over here. We're going to say new folder, or I'll say test folder, and hit OK. Boom. What happened? Well, there's my test folder I just created. Now it appears that it automatically puts it in some alphabetical order. I spelt it wrong. That's fine. So there's your test folder. If you open it up, there's nothing in it. There's nothing to go in there. So at this point, you could take a plugin and drag it into there. I just grabbed this disperser. I don't even know what that is. Just left click, drag it, and drop it in, and boom, there is your disperser plugin in your test folder. So that's how you make a folder. I highly recommend you do that just to keep your life simple and organized. So as you see here, I said I have an analysis folder. I got bass amps, so I got anything related to bass amps I have in here. I got some neural stuff and some wave stuff. Bass Room, that's a fantastic plugin, by the way. Some other wave stuff and SVT, etc., etc. So that's what's in my bass amps folder. Channel strips, there's some of my favorite stuff there. The American Class A, Soft Tube, British Class A, I think that's a Waves plugin. Anything that's a channel strip, some SSL stuff, TR5 from IK Multimedia. That's what I have for channel strips. You know, dynamics, there's going to be a ton of them in there. Bus processor, all sorts of compressors. The stuff that's grayed out is stuff that I have hidden that I'm no longer going to be using. I'm dumping my Wave subscription. We'll talk about that in another video. Drums, Addictive Trigger, CLA drums, SSL native drum strip, etc., etc. Now this doesn't include your instruments. That's a different tab. If you click on your instruments tab here, now you see your VSTs. So I got a Arturia keyboard and your stock PreSonus stuff. Here's my Steven Slate stuff and my trusty good old Addictive drums. So they're all going to be listed under your instruments tab. Going back to, let's go back to the folder, effects folder tab. So I'm sure, as you know, one of the cool things about Studio One is if you click on these, I click on guitar amps, boop, you get these thumbnails. This is the Ampcraft 1992, which is a killer, super heavy, high gain VST. There's Ampire, there's Amplitude, which is awesome, and then I got a bunch of neurals and stuff. Creating these thumbnails is super, super easy in Studio One. So let's see, let me see if I can demonstrate that. All right, so here is this guitar tuner mono. Say I want to have a thumbnail of that. What you need to do, this is the way I do it. Go to a mix window, pull up a mix window, and here I have a mix window. Any old mix window will do. And what I do is I'm going to take that, where was it? It was a tuner or something. It doesn't matter. Yeah, okay, here, guitar tuner. I'm going to take that guitar tuner and I'm going to stick it in any open VST or insert section that you want. So I could just stick it right over here. So I'm going to click it, drag it over here, boom. It's going to open it up. Okay, once you see it open, go to the title of the tuner that's going to pop up. So this one here says Guitar Tuner Mono. If you had several plugins on this channel, it will populate them. Besides that, just look for the one you want. Now simply click that down arrow, go down here and say Update Plugin Thumbnail. Boom. And now, there it is. And it doesn't have to be, obviously, a stock Studio One plugin. It can be any third-party plugin will work. I have yet to find a single plugin from anybody where it won't create that thumbnail if you want the thumbnail, just as I showed you how to do it. So that's a great way to visually keep things organized as well. If you're a visual guy like I am, you're like, oh, I want to use my my Ampcraft. Boom, I pull it up. There's my Ampcraft. Drag it in. I'm ready to rock. I got a thing for vocal strips. I got all my vocal. A lot of these are going to go away because a lot of them are Waves plugins that I'm getting away from. I've decided to pare down my subscriptions to basically only one. So that's how you create folders in Studio One. If you want to put a folder in a folder, right click on that folder, hit new folder, it'll create the folder within that folder. If you don't want that, make sure you go to the end of your current folder list, all the way down here. Let me shrink some of these down. So yeah, go below your final folder, right click, and create a new folder here. And you'll be good to go. Show it to you one more time. Go below your folders. Right click, new folder. Name it, and you'll have a folder. Easy peasy. That's why I love Studio One, but some of this stuff is can be a little unintuitive, I guess, but I didn't realize you had to go to the end of the folder list to create a new folder, and it kept creating folders within a folder, and it was like frustrating. So as long as you go to the end of your, outside of your current folder list, and you may not have any folders, so it shouldn't be an issue, right click, new folder, name it, amps, guitars, EQs, compressors, whatever you want, and then click and drag your compressors into your compressor folder, your guitar sims into your guitar sim folder, and it helps you keep things organized. All right, I hope this helps. So I hope you found that useful. I like to try and stay organized because you can get disorganized really quickly in the studio when you have a bunch of plugins and you're just getting your feet wet, and you don't want to waste a bunch of time scrolling through, if you're like me and you made the mistake of buying all sorts of plugins when you didn't really need them. That's for another video. It'll help simplify your life and your workflow and just let you be creative quicker, which is what this is all about. If you like this stuff, give me a like, hit subscribe. I'm going to try and build this channel up. Yeah, my videos are not high quality. I'm doing this on the cheap. I'm new at it, so cut me some slack. But I'll keep making some videos, and if you have suggestions for things you may not know about that I might know, or if I can give you an answer or a way I approach a certain concept in Studio One or just recording in general, feel free to ask the question. I'll do my best to make a video or give you an answer in the comments below. All right, go fire up your DAW and make some music. This is what this is all about. Rocking and rolling.